Hello, friends. This is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, back with another live video. Today, I believe it's a Wednesday, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure what day it is because, like I said before, when every day's a Saturday, you really don't know what day it is. But other than that, I want to talk to you about something today because we're coming up in a holiday weekend. Holiday weekend. Who wants to take off? Who wants to take off? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later after I give you the not so fake news. I'm going to go over those a little fast today because there's really nothing really happening immediately, like urgently. I believe the president was met with the House Republicans and the the House to see if he can get his tax bill through. They were going over all that today, but that's gonna take some time. That's gonna come back and forth, and that has to go through the House first, through the House of Representatives, and then it has to go through the Senate, and it has to be approved. So that will be a while, and they're going to debate that for a little while. So that's really nothing that, you know, we need to be paying attention right now because that's going to take a little while to get through. Although they starting to do that, and there's going to be a lot of course, they say tax advantages for all the middle class and the poor, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that comes along. But I'm not going to predict anything unless I see it. And of course, they also was talking today about that famous plane that Qatar gave to the president. Now, Qatar is not giving the plane to the president. They're switching it around to make it look better, and they're giving the plane to the DOJ, the Department of Justice, and the Pentagon. And the DOJ, the Department of Justice, the Pentagon is going to take care of the plane. It's going to modify the plane to for the president's use, but it's not going to be a gift from one country to a president. It's going to be from one country to the Department of Justice of this country, and they're going to do the necessary adaptations and excuse me, we're live now. And after they do their adaptations and they put everything they need to put in there, it might go to this president or it might go to the next president later on. But it's something that it's been in the works, and it just so happens that the company that was supposed to deliver this plane has not delivered this plane on time. So Qatar was nice enough to say, we'll go ahead and donate this one to you. And of course, they still have the the people that escaped from jail in Louisiana, and they have caught another one. So now the 10 criminals of the 10 criminals that escaped from the jail, they have caught 5 of them, and there's still 5 at large. And one thing that I've been noticing is that these people are getting caught like in the adjacent areas of the jail. Let's say 15, 20 miles away from the jail. There hasn't been a a prisoner that have been caught like out of state or far away like they thought. And apparently the authorities are pretty confident that they're gonna catch the other five. So apparently these guys didn't want to walk too much or didn't really plan this out or they just really wanted to have a little outing, apparently. And now it's going to cost them state penitentiary because they're not going to the jail that they escaped from. They're going to a state penitentiary and probably not getting out of there anytime soon. They're probably going to get life there, or I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they already had some pretty harsh sentences, and now it's going to be even worse. And enough of that rigmarole because this channel is pretty positive channel with music usually. I'm just taking off a little bit right now of the music and the pool playing and the the entertainment and giving you a little bit of the fake news or the not so fake news these days because everything's happening really fast in real time and most people are like already accepted that this administration is in the White House and they're not going anywhere. And all the talks about the dictatorship are over. I mean, that was pretty funny when people started talking to me about, oh, we're gonna have a dictator in the White House. You know, I didn't really say anything, and I didn't get into all that because I knew better. So, it's like, why getting into an argument when you know that there's no argument to make, you know? But, anyways, what I want to talk about today is the fact of who wants to take off. And we're going to have Memorial Day weekend pretty soon here. And some people take off on a Thursday, which is tomorrow. Some people take off on a Friday. But most people take off on a Thursday. And they go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And they go straight 5 days straight and take a little vacation with their family or just go visit some friends or whatever. But in the past, I'm saying like before COVID, I remember when they used to promote that you should take these days and work on your house. I never understood that though. Why if they're gonna give you like 5 days straight that you could take a little mini vacation, you're gonna be stuck at your house working at your house? I never really understood that, but I guess they did that because some people around, some companies around here want you to do more. And I have news for those companies. I don't like to do more. I like to do less. So they ain't gonna get my money. Because if it's not broke, don't fix it. And if it's broke, just look at it. It'll be all right as long as it's not falling on your head. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, who wants to take off? And I'm going to tell you a little story right here because those of us that don't come from money actually come from poverty. When I'll be an example of that. Okay, in the past, in the real back in the day, when my parents say, "Hey, we're gonna take a camping trip," what? What are you talking about? Yeah, we're gonna take a camping trip. I have a tent. Okay, I think we did like two of those maybe in my teenage years. So I was like, "What? Where are we going? What are we doing? How long are we gonna be there?" And I'm going like, "Okay," but at the same time, I wasn't arguing about it. And in fact, my siblings and I got all excited about it. I remember that we got all excited about it because we never go anywhere, anywhere. So any little trip would be like a novelty. It'd be like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna spend like 3 or 4 days at the beach, and we're gonna have a tent, and we're gonna camp out close to the beach. Oh my God! Wait a minute. This doesn't happen every year, let alone every 3 months like now. But now kids are really spoiled, and people in general, the the way the people are here in the United States right now is that most of them, if they can't take the trip, they'll get in debt and take the trip and then pay it later. It doesn't really matter, but they going, they're taking off. Who wants to take off? Everybody wants to take off. Why? Because they usually go to a job that they hate. They hate the job. They hate the people at the job. They've been working for with those people forever, years sometimes, but they still keep going to the same job that they hate. And when they get a little time to just take off somewhere, oh my God, they can't wait to get out of there and go see some other people that they usually hate, but they don't hate them as much as they hate the people that they see every day. Okay, and I'm being really real right now, and it's not like, you know, this channel is not about hate; it's about love actually. But that's just the way it is. And ask me if I'm wrong. Ask me if you every time you see and you have the opportunity to take off and put your kids in a car and go somewhere and get away from the world, from your world, you don't want to do it. But what's happening right now also is that people don't have the means to just get on their car, let alone on a plane. Sometimes it's easier to get on a plane because it's even cheaper. But gas prices are so high and stuff, and even though they're not really high over here, but still, if you want to go long ways, it's gonna take you a lot of money just to put gas in the car and get all the meals and everything that you need along the way and all this stuff. So it's gonna take money, and a lot of people, that's what they're lacking on right now. Things are so really hard right now that they're lacking on, having accessible money to be taking vacations. In fact, I believe my generation had a good one. Not the one that I'm talking about before. My parents were, they couldn't not take vacations that much. But my generation, we took vacations. We didn't really have that much money, but somehow we took a lot of vacations, and we didn't actually put them on credit card or anything. We just had, things were good enough that we could go on vacation and not get in debt. At least a 5 day vacation, or a week, sometimes 2 weeks. Sometimes we'll take 2 weeks in the summer, 2 weeks in the winter. So a whole month of vacation, that's the good old days right there for like my kids' generations. And of course, we had less money, but we have time. And the family circle was a little stronger than these days. So I believe it was even better, and we didn't have enough money. Now, a lot of people got money now. They might have money, but they have to use it. They don't have that much time. They have to use it for other things. So they're rushing to do a little 3 day getaway and come back, and it's usually like it doesn't go that well because they're thinking about they can get away from their job, but they can't get away from their job because even though they're away from their job, their boss is calling them like every 2 days or something like that, and even they calling them on vacation. So that's mainly what's happening right now. Now, who wants to take off? Everybody wants to take off. Everybody. Everybody wants to take off. And why that is? Because us as human beings, we're usually not content with anything. Sometimes we're not even content with ourselves. And we're saying like, oh, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood today. Like, I'm not in the mood. And if I'm not in the mood, then like everybody around me suffers because I'm not in the mood to take off or do anything. And that can happen too. So, who wants to take off? Usually everybody wants to. Everybody wants to get a little piece of relaxation. And you could do that and you don't have to go anywhere. But like I said, the masses this weekend are going to be out there fighting all that traffic, driving all those hours, putting up with the kids, and oh, when are we getting there? When are we getting there? I said, don't worry about it. We'll get there someday. And all that good stuff. So leave me in the comments. What are you doing for Memorial Day? Are you taking off? Who wants to take off? I'm taking off every day. I get a little piece of tranquility every single day. And it feels really good. I wish you can experience that. With this one, I want to say hi to everybody. I want to say hi to all the people around the world that follow my music and follow my videos. I know who you are, and I really appreciate it. There's a whole bunch of you right now in my channel. Over 80 million of you. And I really, really appreciate it for you supporting me all these years. This is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, still living in this beautiful planet called Earth, today with the message of who wants to take off? I don't know about you, but I'm taking off.